Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon. July 2nd, we are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and Triple Q. And this relentless beating of the bears continues as we hit all-time highs again in SPY, ES, NQ, Qs, NASDAQ Composite. We go out with 3 sets of single prints in SPY. Now, people are going to probably be looking for something to grasp on as far as the sell side. You know, is this some short-term excess when M popped up and backed off? That's a possibility. But the bigger thing to keep in mind is all 3 time frames are up. We'll go over the charts on all 3 of these. We'll talk about, is it overextended, what to look for. Russell with a open and drive down today. End up with a B shape for long liquidation. They held that 228.10 level. They end 11 wide. Triple Qs late in the day end up holding a set of single prints, and they go out with a price probe. They had some single prints early that filled. They end up with one holding, and they go out with a price probe. I didn't do a lot of trading today. I took a long. We gapped higher. Gapped higher on the day. Gapped held. Got long in B period. Rode that up for a bit. The 431 calls. Looking for it to pop the top, and I did okay on that. And then believe it or not, the only other trade, because this thing just methodically got away from me, D period, I took a small short, looking to see if we would come back. We were 4 for 4 wide. Did we want to go trend? There was no tempo, no volume. Once E took out D's high, I said that's over, took that off, and then just watched it. Only other place I really could have gotten involved, probably an F on a pullback for long, but the fact that we hadn't taken out E's high yet, I was like, maybe they fill the single prints and look for a better opportunity on an afternoon pullback low. If it had happened, never did, and then once G took out F and E's high, boom, exploded before they finally got some two-sided trade. So decent week, nothing special. Especially these last couple of days, not much trading today. Yesterday I was down for a good part of the day and I left early. So we'll start on Tuesday. Again, there'll be no video Monday. The regular markets close. So there'll be no video until Tuesday morning. And we'll start there and try to start getting the month of July on track. As far as destinations, again, we continually say this. There's one and only one on the upside, and that's 434.10, which is now a weekly high. And the all-time high. For the downside, L's high, we went out with a price probe, 433.67, even though we closed below it. We'll see on Tuesday if it's accepted or rejected. Then we have 3 sets of single prints, 433.02, I's low to E's high, at 432.65. Then the other 2 are smaller, F's low to D's high, 432.13. I'm sorry, 432.33 to 13. And then E's low to C's high, 432.03 to 431.97. And then today's low of 431.33. And then filling the gap at 430.60, 73-point gap. You should have all the other destinations I gave yesterday to the downside. And boy, oh boy, are there a lot of them. Now let's break down in detail all 3 of these indices and see what we got as we're starting this third quarter. So here's the Russell. Now remember, the Russell has not made a high since March 15th, an all-time high. Okay, so it's 3.5 months right now. Their monthly is in balance, basically a 5-month balance. So they're having trouble. They need to get some direction one way or the other. So the monthly is still balanced. The weekly is also balanced. It's a 4-week balance. It's an inside week. Now, here's what's interesting. This is what's going to be interesting for the Russell to keep an eye on. So last week, we took out the previous week's high by only 6 cents. So basically, we treated this week as an inside week. Well, this week is firmly an inside week. So the pot's starting to boil a little bit here. So when you come out of this inside week next week, if it's to the upside, they need acceptance above these 4 weekly highs. If they do, they should finally go and catch up and get their all-time high. If they don't and take out this week's low, well then the ultimate destination will be the bottom of the 3-week balance, which will be down at the 221 level. So that's really important in the Russell. The monthly's balance, weekly's balance, but basically two inside weeks in a row. That should give us a good indication if we're going to go see highs or back off. And then the daily, I think they finished, give me 1 second. They finished with an outside day down, I believe. They do. So they finish with an 229. No, they don't. Hold on 1 second. Let me just go to the profile. Yes, they do. They finish with an outside day down. So they took out the previous day's high and closed below the previous day's low. And they also closed below the 20-day moving average, which is 229.68. So, little crack there in the armor on the daily. Still balanced though. We don't have any of these time frames down in the Russell. Monthly balance, weekly balance, daily balance. However, the weekly is going to be a really big telltale sign whichever way we come out of the inside week. And obviously, once the daily is going to be the first one to start making a move. So when they come out of balance, we'll see. Are we going to come out of balance and test the 50-day moving average, or again, come out of balance and get the all-time high? So balance in all three of those indices. Triple Qs. Triple Qs came out of balance last month to the upside, up. This month's already made a new high. So they're up in the monthly. Weekly, up. They've been up. They came out of an inside week 6 weeks ago. One time framing up 6 weeks, and they got nice distance away this week. Now, are they stretched out? It remains to be seen. And the reason we have to correlate, triple Qs and IWM really have gone opposite. So if triple Qs still have a good amount to run, well then Russell's going to come out of that inside week to the downside. On the flip side, if we think triple Qs are stretched out a bit and they come into balance, well, then the Russell could probably come out of balance to the upside and make their move to the all-time high. But right now, Qs monthly up, weekly up, and the daily up. Came out of balance, right? Look at how we talk about markets going. They don't go bull bear. So look at this. They had a 6-day balance. Came out of balance, bull. Went balance again. Came out of balance, bull. Went balance again. Came out of balance, bull. So again, even when you come into balance, unless you roll over bear, and if we continue bull, nothing's really changed in the bigger picture. So the gap is the main focus. The daily's up. So all three time frames in triple Q are up. And then for ES and SPY, well, 9 months now, one time framing up, including the first 2 days of July. Is it getting stretched out? Yeah, of course it is. But that doesn't mean we know where the top's going to be. So right now, the monthly is incredibly healthy. The weekly, this is the impressive one. We were having trouble. Look at this mess we had here for a bunch of weeks. I don't know, 6 weeks or so, even longer. Last week, we finally got above and turned up. And now this week, we got distance away and closed near the highs. So weekly is up. And then on the daily, one time framing up 10 days now during regular trading hours. Talk about getting distance. Is this getting a little stretched out? Of course it is. We have to, now SPY has a small 4-cent gap from the other day, and they have a 70-cent gap from today. But we are getting distance away. That continually tells you that bias is still strong. Is it emotional trading? Yes. The volume's horrible. We're at 57 million again. Last month, in all the trading days, the only 3 days, the three highest trading volume were the 3 days we were down, right here. These 3 days. When we went down on June 16th, 17th, and 18th. We did 80 million, 90 million, 100 million. Since then, we haven't done over 65 million, I think, as we've grinded straight up for 10 days. So, yes, you would like to get better volume to support this. Again, when it does come in, you will wipe out probably 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of data in one shot. It's going to happen. The question is when. So right now, all three time frames are up. All three time frames are healthy. I do believe, yes, we're starting to get stretched out a bit. But again, until we come into balance at least, certainly not going to sit here and try to pick a top. I hope you had a great day trading. Enjoy the long weekend. Stay safe. And we'll speak prior to the opening on Tuesday.